Well, howdy, howdy, howdy. Finally, senior citizen here. Greetings, boys, girls, and all of our non-binary friends, and welcome to this, a brand new day. And remember, no matter who you are valid. Thumbs up for that. And if you are watching, thank you so very, very much. I know a lot of people don't watch. I get very few views, and a good part of that is I just sit here and I yammer old school YouTube style, something that hasn't been the meta for years and years and years, a very, very long time. And when you add that on the top of the fact that I'm just a nobody and my age, thank you for watching. It is appreciated to no end. I do have some stuff written down here. One thing I didn't talk about yesterday about my big walkies that I made. And it was a big walkies. It was very nice. Ah, itchy nose. I had posted about how it was gray and overcast and kind of cool because of that. And so I wanted to go out walkies to take advantage of that. And so I was going to do it early before the clouds burned away and it got hot and sunny. So I started out, and about a half block into it, the clouds burned off and it got hot and sunny. It was such excellent timing on my part. But that's all. I just thought it was funny. I was laughing about it even while I was irate at the same time, because no sunscreen, no sunglasses, and heat, and that radioactive ball of death in the sky glaring down at me. But other things that I've got written down, like this one here, I have heard from... Well, it ties in with a lot of people who say, why don't you just provide us with this, you know what we want, to various like movie people, TV people, book people, comics. It's like, you know what we want, why don't you just give it to us? Well, you're going to get so bored if you just get the same thing all the time. And I have heard some creators say some variation of, you don't know what you want until we show it to you. And in a way, that sounds incredibly arrogant, doesn't it? But at the same time, yeah, that's true. Because if you're eating the same thing all the time, that's all you're ever going to have. And maybe you're having spaghetti every day, and that's all you have every single day, and you ask for it and you want it because you know you like it. But you might like chili just as much or even better. Or how about this vegetable dish over here? Or we've got all this stuff that we can do. Why limit yourself? But if you don't know there's anything else out there, then all you're going to eat is spaghetti without knowing that there's chili that you might love. Without knowing that there's a salad that has all the vegetables in it that would be delicious. You don't know it because no one's making it and saying, would you like it? I have come across so many games that have just been out of the blue, or I have chosen to go out of my envelope of comfort. I was going to say game comfort, and that came out comfort. When I stepped out of my comfort zone to try something else that was being offered and went, this is the best thing ever. Both movies, TV, books, graphic novels, comics, games, everything. If you don't look and take what is being offered, you're just only going to have spaghetti every day for the rest of your life. And maybe you like spaghetti, but maybe you'd like the chili better. Or maybe you'd like to have chili every other day, so it's just not the same boring thing every day. Now, I'm not talking about neurodivergence here, because when it comes down to things, I can eat the same thing every single day for a solid week. And I know that there are others out there that all they can have are the certain types of things, and they stick with that. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about if it's just a thing that's offered, and that's all you have and all you eat because that's all you know. It sounds arrogant. You don't know what you like until I show it to you. But if I'm a cook that's offering you a bowl of chili when you've been eating spaghetti all your life, am I being arrogant? Or am I saying, hey, I think you'd like this? So yeah. Now, is there anything else I'm going to say? There's quite a bit, but this one, I've never seen the whole thing. I don't know the full context, but when I've said before, I've been thinking, hey, I've thought about streaming. One of the reasons, aside from just executive dysfunction, that I don't is knowing that I would largely be streaming to nobody. And at least when I'm doing this, I know I'm going to get maybe 1 or 2 curiosity views, if nothing else. Whereas Ludwig, the one fellow who has well over 1 million subs, and he streams all the time, very popular, very, very listened to fellow. Apparently he did some sort of experiment where, without saying who he was, went on and did a stream for 5 hours to 0 people, not a single one. But he did it, and he recorded it. How demoralizing would that be? I mean, again, at least I might get a few curiosity views, if nothing else. But to get nothing at all. But then there's this other fellow called Nomad, where he was talking about how views on videos immediately drop as soon as the videos start. Even people like Jacksepticeye have talked about how, they get huge amounts of views like in the first minute, but like within 3 minutes they're down to less than a quarter of what they had here, and then it just slowly dims down as it goes on. Nomad was talking about how some of his viewers that he's had, they loaded up the video and then clicked off at 000. They loaded it up and then clicked off of it. I can speak English, I promise you. They clicked off of the video before it even played. So, yeah. Ugh. So, I've thought about streaming, but there's a lot of reasons why I haven't yet. I also saw a video about a 1-benzodiazepine from largely Russia and how dangerous it is. And you should stay away from benzos anyway. That's one of the big reasons that I've stayed away from anti-anxiety medications. Number one, I don't want to go to sleep just because I'm anxious. I want the anxiety to go away. I don't want the whole day to go away. I don't want to go to sleep and then suddenly it's the next day. I already do that. So, no. But on the other hand, the other reason, there is no real exit strategy once you are on benzos. You're kind of on them forever. And I don't want that. I mean, sure, I'm turning 63 in a couple months. The rest of my life ain't that long compared to somebody who's only 20 years old and deciding whether or not to start taking them for anxiety. But I'd rather not be hooked to something. And that's just, especially since when I was going off of alcohol and I went into rehab, they don't have a special rehab for alcoholics and rehab for other things. Once you go in for detox, it's like alcohol detox. But when you're going to rehab trying to get off of things, it's everybody in one thing. And so I've talked with and watched a lot of people who were getting off of various drugs through all of this stuff, from benzos to stuff that went into your veins and all that. And oh my God, benzos, just horrible, horrible, horrible. So stay away. And I have seen a couple times, like, there are games that I've wanted to purchase and look at. But these days, this one, Scarlet Heroes, pretty dense, pretty thick. It's a, tabletop RPG for many people, but it has a large section on how to just play it solo. And it has charts and tables and all together with the index and appendixes. It's 131 pages. But not all of that is rules, especially since it's kind of an OSR, which is the old-school Renaissance, where they're emulating the 1970s, 1980s stuff instead of the modern stuff. Because when you're going with OSR, you can have a full game. 131 pages, and large portions of that are the bestiary and the spell lists, because there aren't a huge amount of rules to get you bogged down on everything. One of the reasons games like Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition is such a slog to play is because combat is broken down into almost, it's always been a slog in that your characters are experiencing what is for you hours, for them minutes. But you have to spend a lot of time, and it takes forever depending on how deep you want to go. But OSR, no, that's not like that. And there was this one game that I was looking at. It's like a zombie game, and it looks really cool. But it was so long, like three some odd hundred pages. If it's over 100 pages, I don't know. There's just too much to take care of anymore. Now, way back when I was younger, I really loved dense mechanic ones. There was a game, Powers and Perils, so dense with mechanics that I don't even know how I could have ever played it. It's largely been unplayable for me because it's just, you keep track of everything. And there's equations to take care of it all. Whereas OSR is, am I hungry? Do I need to eat? Well, why are you asking me? I'm the game master. What is your character? Are they hungry? Well, why don't they eat something then? So I like that. And I do like taking guanfacine, this medication I've been talking about before, especially since I'm not taking my blood pressure med anymore. And my blood pressure has been so far good. But I'll get back to that. The guanfacine slows down my time sense so much that I honestly find myself horrified when I do a full day's worth of stuff. And I look at the clock and it's like 1 o'clock in the afternoon. And I don't know what the hell I'm going to do now. So that's always fun. It's nice that time is now passing for me like it does for everyone else. But I've never developed anything to consciously take care of my mind during this point. I've always been blink, 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 days over. I don't want to go back to that. But it is still weird and hard to get used to. And yes, my blood pressure was like this, mega low. And then I took Ritalin and it went like this, up to 200 over 100. And then we got medications to start bringing it down, and we brought it down, and then it started going up again. And so they originally had me on 30 milligrams of this one drug called losartan. And then they increased it to 50 milligrams. And then because it kept going up, I mean, even like this was 6 months ago. So I had to take 50 milligrams twice a day. And then all of a sudden, wham, it just crashed. And now I've stopped taking any losartan at all. And so far, my blood pressure has been good. I don't know why. I'm glad it has. Hopefully it will stay nice. Thumbs up on that. Is there anything else that I have written down that I wanted to talk about? Actually, the few things I wanted to talk about were things that I've been talking about. It's just largely I've been working still on characters and how they think about in life. And with the names, there of Jekan, the Apani, and Fethad, the Orkani, Dantil, the Habani, and Kanar, the Goya, which is the Goya are a human just with a different name because it's a different world. And the Habani, the Orkani, and the Apani are all three species that live upon Karthkog. I realized I still now need to make up a Dwaylen character and a Tsandaka / Elvandri character. Different names because different continents they came up, still the same races, but over on Lanlua, the Dwaylen named them. And over on Karthkog, the Orkani said, "What do you want to be called?" And so, Tsandaka versus Elvandri. But with the character Jakan, officially they would like to be just known. Well, there's officially Jakan, acquaintance-like Khan, and friends J. Fethad is, professionally Fethad, acquaintance Thod, and friends Thaw. Dantil, just Don, and Kanar just goes by Nar. So, thumbs up. I'm still working on now trying to get the Apani characters' personality a little bit more chipped out in stone, but now because I added 2 characters instead of doing them slowly, it's taking more time, and now I gotta add 2 more. So thumbs up on that. But yeah, I'm still working on that, working on characters, working on the world, working on situations, I have figured one of the... Boy, oh boy, I could spend a lot of time on this because, again, what started all this was there was a previous advanced race that had lived on this planet for 600 million years. There were over 110 billion of them living on the planet in a basic utopia, and they were doomed because 1 billion years before they even crawled out of the oceans, all these extra universal energies started to creep in and flow into their world that hadn't been there before. And even though they didn't go nuts and fire off any of the weapons, with the accumulations and the discharges of energies, something happened. The war began, and they became extinct, and the damage to the planet shifted everything around, and the machines they had to keep, like the tectonic plates and such, from causing earthquakes, kept the planet from being destroyed. But from that, there's all these new continents, and on Karthkog, where the people, the Habani, the Orkani, and the Apani are spreading southward into the continent, it's kind of like one gigantic cosmic horror event in itself. Because all of this energy is out there waiting. Huge amounts of it has already discharged and become something. So every 200 kilometers at a minimum is going to be something to make you go, what on earth? And this is what they're advancing into. So when they're 2,000 kilometers southward of the port settlement of Tuathik, down in the settlement of Nagrat, in the Ogranic Forest, where it is the multiverse written small itself, that ain't anything strange compared to what else they're going to be finding and are finding all over Karthkog. So thumbs up on that. I am still working on these things. And, of course, call to action time. If you could like, comment, share, subscribe as I scroll my text file, that would be very, very awesome. Definitely a thumbs up. And if you are a patron, thumbs up and thank you. It is greatly, greatly appreciated. You are beautiful and awesome people, and you make this older man's life just that little bit easier, and it is appreciated. Thumbs up and thank you. For everybody that's left me a comment, you are beautiful and awesome people in your own right. I read every comment that YouTube shows me. I thumbs up every comment that YouTube lets me. And if I can't, or the comment is particularly heartfelt or witty, I give it a heart. And I answer as many comments as I can because it is good to show you that you are being heard. But with my nerve compression, I can't answer as many as I would like. But keep checking back up to 24 hours later because I do what I can. And I do play an internet game of calling out a secret word and listening to see if it's called back. Seeing because I asked that word to be typed into the comment section for blatant engagement farming to show the algorithm my channel isn't dead yet. And it is nice to be heard. So thumbs up and thank you if you play. And of course, if you don't, that's okay too. It's not a requirement. But those that did last time, Jesse Koskinen, thumbs up, thank you. Your continued appearance and watching is deeply appreciated. We have One Life Junk Jack, thumbs up, thank you so very, very much, greatly appreciated. Sir Schmuckle, always good to see you in the comments, definitely a good thing. And Chris and all their incarnations and flavors, definitely a thumbs up. And I'm not going to be doing game stuff every single day because it's my ADHD and executive dysfunction and all. But I'm going to be doing what I can, especially with Dying Light and all. So thumbs up on that. So I'm going to be taking care of myself today. I'm going to edit, render, upload. I'm going to play games with my controller still because it's been settling down, but that flare-up hasn't gone away yet. In fact, that hurts just touching it there, so I'm going to stop that. Hopefully you can get done the things that you would like to get done because that would be cool. And please, if you cannot, do not beat yourself up because you deserve better. So hokey smokes, I haven't been doing this lately, so I'm going to do it today. What do I have here that's even any good? How about this one? It's not good, but it is here. If you have watched this far, if you could type dungeon into the comments for blatant engagement farming, and I'm listening to hear if that secret word is called back. So thumbs up if you can. And of course, if you don't play, you don't have to. And if you do play, thumbs up and thank you. Well, hopefully, smokily, puddin' and pie. I've got my cards over here. I have to stack them up carefully again. As stated, going to take care of myself, and I hope you do as well. So, until we meet again, you take care. Have a great day today. I will see you on the flip side, and that is indeed, angle my hand correctly, a very, very good thing. But then after going through that work, I have to stop because I need to click up here so that I have revealed the button so I can stop recording over here.